they light the flame. Cigars in hand, never playing tame. And pour the whiskey, let it burn real slow. On the Real Smoke Podcast, the stories flow. Guess they're rolling with a spark in their eyes, talking life's truths and throwing lies. Laughter, crack, fire alive. Cuba to Kentucky, they always thrive. Real smoke rises in the air tonight. Whiskey's bold, they keep it tight. Stories spark like a flaming glow. Mick and Charles stealing the show.
Welcome to the Real Smoke Podcast with your hosts, Mick and Charles, the podcast that's all about real people, real cigars, and real smoke. Coming to you live from the Real Smoke Virtual Cigar Lounge, bringing you the best of cigars, whiskey, and times in between. This is more than just a podcast, it's a community of cigar lovers. So grab your favorite smoke, pour a drink, and join us as we dive into all things cigars, whiskey, and just having a damn good time. This is the Real Smoke Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 32 of the Real Smoke Podcast. And baby, we are back.
We back
again. We back. We're here. We've been gone forever.
It does feel that way, man. It does feel that way. Hey, man, it's good to see your face. This is
welcome back
at it, brother. Welcome back to
you. All right, before we get started, let's say hi to the Cigar Vault Oakdale.
The Real Smoke Podcast is brought to you by the Cigar Vault Oakdale, your ultimate destination for premium cigars and unforgettable experiences. Whether you're a seasoned aficionado or just starting your cigar journey, they've got you covered. Find them on Instagram at Cigar Vault Oakdale or online at thecigarvault.com. Here's a treat for our listeners. Use promo code REALSMOKE to save 10% on your next order. Let the Cigar Vault Oakdale unlock your next great cigar.
Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, just like what we said, we are back. It feels like it's been forever since we've been here, but we are back and we're ready to rock and roll. Guys, if you're ready for us, put it in the comments below. Just put in there, I'm ready. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah, did you miss us? Put it in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. What are you watching on? And we are supposedly live on YouTube. We are supposedly live on Rumble, and we are supposedly live on Facebook. So if you are watching on any of those, please let us know. That would be great. So let's see what we've got going on. We have Jordan. He says, "What's up, y'all? What's up?" Greg's on here. He says, "Hello, everyone. What's up, Greg?" Nicholas says, "What's up? What's up?" JD says it's working on Facebook. Look at that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Love that.
Hell yeah.
Watching from the hot tub, smoking the best Candela around. I wonder what brand that is. I wonder what brand. Getcha says, "Hello, fellas. Welcome back. It is fantastically, amazingly, awesomely good to be back." I'll just say that. I'm a little happy. I'm a little excited.
I like excited Charles here, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Jordan says he's ready. Nicholas says he's ready. He also says exclamation point. Getcha says Connecticut's ready.
Oh,
and yeah. Jordan says he missed me.
Wow. We're going to start this already, Jordan? Jesus, mighty. I miss you too, buddy.
I think he's Team Charles. Hashtag Team Charles. All right. So, guys, post in the comments below, hashtag Real Smoke. You know what to do. You know what we're going for. $25 gift card to Cigar Vault Oakdale, as well as the lighter and the cutter.
Beautiful.
From Rebellion Cigars. And the rules to Rebellion Cigars is if you've already won the Rebellion Cigar lighter pack, you can't win again. If you won the cigar pack that they did, you can't win again. I will have to go back into the notes to find out who actually won. I know Mitch won, but then he was like the awesome dude who gave it away to Jordan's wife. So I mean, I guess we could say that Mitch could win again, possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, we also it's a new month, so everybody's eligible for the Cigar Vault Oakdale gift card. But if you win one this week, you can't win one next week. So we'll get into that later.
New rule? Uh-oh. He's got new rules coming out.
It's the weirdest thing ever. Like the same people win the Cigar Vault Oakdale we have like 30 new fucking people on, and the same people win. And we love those people. But Cigar Vault Oakdale, I think, is starting to get suspicious. So, all right.
Nicholas is from Florida. What's up in Florida? Jordan says, hashtag real smoke. Jordan's also, Facebook is working. Love that. Holygram says, hey, fellas, what's up, Bryce? He'll be in here in a little bit. Mitch is on here. He says, evening, gentlemen. Hashtag real smoke on that one. Hey, look at that. That's our first hashtag real smoke from Facebook. Love it. Jeff's on here. He says, hashtag real smoke. Evening, fellas. We got a lot of people. Uh-oh. Guess who's back? Back again. Real smoke's back. Tell a friend. All right, anyways, I ain't singing the rest of it, but thank you, Greg.
Love it.
Meanwhile in Memphis. Well, we're going to have some Meanwhile in Memphis later on, but we're about to kick things off with the first topic of the evening. Let's go into Meanwhile in Memphis. You were the reason we were gone. So what's going on? Tell us all about it.
A week in Aruba, a week home seeing family, and it's probably the best 2-week vacation I had in my life. Missed hanging out with Charles on a weekly basis and seeing all of our friends and followers out there. But we had a great vacation. So a couple stories that tie into my vacation. Was in the ocean one day, and this guy saw I had a cigar shirt on, and he goes, "Oh man, is that your cigar company?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I wish." But he said, "Man, I love cigars." He's like, and I told him about the podcast and what have you. I ended up giving him a cigar and a couple stickers, and which, by the way, I think I either stuck on somewhere stickers or handed out over 200 stickers on this vacation. So there's a lot of our stickers out there. But anyway, the guy from the ocean, he is so I don't know if you know anything, Charles, about the cheesesteaks in Philly. They're known for their cheesesteaks, and
I know all about the cheesesteaks in Philly. I know that I've never had an actual Philly cheesesteak. I would love to have a Philly cheesesteak because cheesesteak is my favorite sandwich. But I don't know anything about, the actual, I'm not a Philly dude.
Yeah, so anyone that knows Philly or has ever visited Philly, there's 2 places down there. I mean, there's a lot more than that, but the 2 main ones are Pat's and Geno's. And you're either a Pat's guy or you're a Geno's guy. And
so what are you?
I've always been a Geno's guy, but the guy I met in the ocean was the global distributor for Pat's cheesesteaks. They actually they freeze the cheesesteaks. I didn't tell him I was a Geno's guy. So if he's watching, Jim, I'm sorry. I kind of lied a little bit or just didn't tell the whole story. But I've always been a Geno's guy. But he's the global distributor. He says, "Hey man, thanks for the cigars. Great getting to know you." Blah blah blah. We hung out a few days at the resort, and he says, "I'll send you some cheesesteaks. Give me your address." And I didn't know if I'd ever hear from the guy again. Well, he just sent me tracking. They'll be on my porch tomorrow. He's sending me 10 cheese. I don't know if it's 10. He told me it was either 5 or 10. I told him I didn't need 10, but he said he was sending 10. So I don't know what he sent. But anyway, cheesesteaks on my door tomorrow. From some dude I smoked a cigar with in Aruba. So you can't beat that, man. It was fucking amazing.
I mean, wait, you can't beat the fact that you shared cigar time with a dude who is now sending you his meat.
Wow, that turned around a little bit. But yeah, I guess. I mean, hey, whatever. I'll take it. I'll take his meat. Never mind.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and if it's too much meat for you, send some my way.
I got you. I'll put. Yeah, never mind. But no, man, it was a phenomenal trip. I probably smoked. I know somebody's going to say this is rookie numbers, but probably close to 30 cigars myself, and I gave a bunch away that I had doubles of, and shared some great ones with friends, man, and just those sunsets on the beach and hanging out with very close friends, and then, which I'm sure most people that's on here tonight saw. We got to hang out a little bit, and I know you mentioned it tonight in your intro. that was just great, man. I'm glad you guys could take a little time. And for those of you that don't know, yes, Charles and I are very much alike, but our wives are even more fucking alike, and it's scary. Like those two, from the minute they met each other, I'm like, holy fuck, they're like the same person. So we truly enjoyed the time with you and your wife, man, and I appreciate you making time for us. And it was a great evening. So
All I know is that I fell in love with peanut butter and jelly beer. So,
hell yeah.
And shout out to, what's the name of what was the brewery?
Zool.
Zool. So shout out to Zool in Knoxville. Great PB&J beer.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of alcohol, I've got one. While you were gone, I ended up redoing the podcast bar table that's out here, and I just happened to get a good deal on some freshly dumped barrels from King's Family Distillery here in Sevierville. So I messaged them and we started talking back and forth, and got the barrels from them, made the top, but said that they were I guess it was one of the owners, wanted to send me back with a bottle of some of their barrel strength rye. So I opened it just now, poured it, but it's King's Family Distillery barrel strength rye, 9 years old, 126.8 proof.
Oh hell yeah.
So I recently, over the last 3 years or so, got into rye. Used to not be able to take it. It used to hurt my stomach, but for some reason it didn't anymore. And I became a really big rye person. I'm a huge barrel strength person. Love it. So this is the first pour off of it. The color of this,
it's beautiful.
Is crazy. I mean, you get your typical mint off of it. You get like almost a coffee tobacco note off the nose. Ooh boy, guys! If you guys, dark chocolate, tobacco, slight coffee, mint.
I think I need to find some.
It's going to go good with this one. Just from what I reviewed that cigar earlier, it's going to go great with that one. That's but anyways, awesome. Guys, check them out on Instagram. Check them out at King's Family Distillery or on their website. If you're up this way doing any of the tours, go check them out. Their Rye Conic is one of my favorite ryes, period. But I am now hooked. I don't know the price of this, and 100% legit. They gave me the bottle. So I'm not trying it, didn't know how it was going to go, and told them, hey, I'll open it on the podcast, but I can't promise you anything. So it's either going to be mid or it's going to be really good. This stuff is good. So good job, King's Family. So
yeah, I think everything you've had from them, man, you've pretty much enjoyed. So I need to find me some of that for sure. Yeah, so a couple things to quickly mention from my side. From our side, Cigar Army, we've been posting the shit out of it, but they have some patches right now for the Toys for Tots. They're gearing up towards their event in July, which we announced on our show. Check out Cigar Army's page. Check out those patches. Charles and I ordered ours patches. They actually should be here in the next day or two. Frank messaged me the other day, but great job, Cigar Army. Awesome patch. Help them out and buy a patch. And for those of you who did not see, Beard Apothecary has a new flavor called Daddy-O. I believe it says it smells like it? Yes, a new flavor. I mean, I smell it all day, so it's supposedly smells like suntan lotion and bad decisions. It sounds right up my alley. So I ordered mine the day it
from
dropped.
Some of the stories that you told me about Aruba.
Ooh.
Suntan lotion and bad decisions was probably. Did they make this after you?
They may have. I'm not going to tie everybody up for a 20-minute story, but I did lose about 6 hours and apparently got escorted back by security. So good times. The first day in Aruba was a big fucking day, but yeah, it was a good
The final thing I got on here is we need to give a huge shout out to the TPA, the Tobacco Products Association. We are a new member. We actually, signed up with them the day after Mick started going on his trip. So from everything that I listened to and been able to read up on, they're a small organization who is truly out there to help get the word out to boutique cigar brands and work on, cigar rights for everybody. So it seems like a good organization. We're proud members now of them. So a big shout out to the TPA.
This may be taboo to say, but from everything I've read about them, they're kind of like the NRA for the cigar industry. Like they're constantly fighting for the rights of those people. Yeah. So, my last thing on here, and it ties right into our guest. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. If you guys have not ever checked out our show with Bryce, who we have on tonight, and Doc, our doctor friend, I almost said her last name. I just said I wouldn't. We had a show with her about 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, and it's still one of our top-rated shows on YouTube. The reason we did that show is if we can help one person get through a tough time or really rethink how they're going about things. That's why we did that show, and it's probably of all the amazing episodes we've had with great guests. I really think it's still one of my favorites, and it probably always will be because I'm pretty proud of what we put out there that night and what they put out there that night. It was really sharing their story and getting things out there. And also PTSD Awareness Month. So definitely stuff that we need to talk about as men and maybe be a little more open with. At least find somebody like my buddy Charles there that we can talk our way through things and have a cigar and, really just talk things through. So it's that month to talk about it, man. So I'm fucking talking about it. It is.
Let's do it. So before we roll into the last little bit, a couple quick other shout outs. We got the one and only on here, living a bearded chubby life. He says, "Hiya, fam." Gary Perdue says, "Silent Hero will be introduced in Shreveport, Louisiana on 6/14 at a cut and light." Well, that's freaking awesome. Pedro Ramos is on here. Hey,
what's up, brother?
We're gonna have you on the show here really soon. So we just actually signed that deal. Hayes Gray Cigars will be on the show in July, so we're excited to see them. He says #RealSmoke. Greg says #RealSmoke. John says it's a scent, dumbass. Don't eat it.
You're the one that always says flavor, John. Don't fuck with me now.
Wesley Woodcock says, "I got my Cigar Army patch in the mail today, and he's going to be ordering some of that Daddy-O tomorrow."
Hell yeah.
Nice. Big old thank you, bro, from John. Chris says, "What's up, fellas?" And a little bit of #RealSmokes. And Pedro says, "Can't wait, guys. Looking forward to it." So we're going to go really quickly into the cigar that we are doing tonight. And before we do that one, we do need to talk about the sponsor of tonight's cigar, and that is Smoke Inn. So tonight's cigar is brought to you by Smoke Inn. Join the Smoke Inn Cigar of the Month Club and get 5 premium cigars delivered to your door every month. Discover hidden gems, classic favorites, and exclusive blends selected just for you. Use code RSNEW now to claim your free Smoke Inn torch lighter and perfect cutter. One more time, go to Smoke Inn Cigar of the Month Club. Use code RSNEW to get your lighter and cutter. And if you sign up with them, that's great. If you don't use the code, that sucks for us, because using the code just lets them know that you heard it from us. So guys, if you actually sign up with them and you did use our code, let us know anytime. Let us know. We would really like to know who's actually doing that. So, but the cigar tonight, as always, will be introduced by Mick.
I'm glad you let me pre-read this one, but it's a pretty easy one. I'm good. Oz Family Cigars, Caratoba. Wrapper, Ecuadorian, sun-grown Sumatra, Ecuadorian-grown Sumatra. Okay, you almost threw me off there. I should have reread it. Binder, Nicaraguan. Filler, Nicaraguan, Dominican Republic. Price is $12. And again, brought to you by Smoke Inn Cigar of the Month Club.
There we go. So that is the cigar we are smoking tonight. We will be getting in the cigar we're going to talk about a little bit later. we're going to do a review on that one as soon as we get it in. We can't wait to try that one. But we do need to bring on our guest. And our guest is brought to you by our lovely guys over at Destination Cigars. And they have a message for you.
Good morning, guys. This is Chuck with Destination Cigars. Just wanted to remind you this morning that coming up on June 27th, 28th, 29th, we'll be having a real estate event at the Sevierville location. And we're here at Cherokee's Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. I may not be able to tell you how to be a winner here. I can tell you if you show up for our event, we're going to be offering 30% off regular box prices of all real estates. That's a winner. Y'all have a great day and look forward to seeing you.
All righty. Well, that is one of the owners of Destination Cigars and one of the owners of their cigar brand, Allegory Cigars. So go check them out. You can go check them out at Destination Cigars online, or check them out on Instagram at Destination Cigars. They've got 3 locations, 2 in West Virginia, 1 here in Tennessee. So let's bring the man of the hour to the stage. He is the current reigning champion of the most visits to the podcast. He now, this is his 4th visit.
4th.
He was on the Friends and Family Herf.
Yeah,
So
right.
we had him on when he first started. He came on for Men's Mental Health Month, came on to the Friends and Family Herf, and now he's coming on to talk about something, new and exciting. Let's welcome Bryce, Silent Hero Cigars. What's up, brother?
What's going on, gentlemen? How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
Fantastic.
Welcome back, brother.
Good, thank you.
It's always good to see you, man. We love having you on here, and we're always excited to see what you're up to, man.
Yeah, it's always it's always a pleasure. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know this is kind of a setup, and things didn't quite work out. We worked on this for a while. Things didn't quite work out the way we planned, but man, we really want to showcase what you're doing, and we're excited to get our hands on that stick, man. But it's cool. We'll make it through, and we'll get that review, back to you. But we're excited.
Yeah, it's just like Murphy's Law. Anything that can happen will happen. You know what I mean? So just gotta roll with the punches. The nice thing is that they're actually on the way to me right now. So once I get back from Albuquerque, on Saturday, or I guess on Sunday rather, I'll be getting those cigars out the door and everything like that. So
Nice. So I guess the way we're going to do tonight is, since, if anybody's been watching the show for a hot minute, they already know who you are. And if they haven't had their head under a rock and their ass in a chair this whole time, they already know who you are. So what we're going to do is go ahead and let you break some breaking news. We're going to go into, just giving some new people some brief information on you. And then we'll go over your blends, and we'll just, have some fun from there. So rumor has it you have something new.
yeah. So on June 7th, at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be dropping my new cigar that I worked with Ish over at Banff and blended that out. It's actually a 7 1/4 by 42 Lancet. It's a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper with a Dominican binder and a Dominican Nicaraguan filler. And so like the size is a little different, and the size kind of goes with the name. We really wanted to portray, a very signature look. Veterans of PTSD, or even first responders of PTSD, they always, people describe that look as that 1,000-yard stare, or that glazed over kind of disassociated look. So that was really the name that we picked, because we want to obviously shed light on that. Just in general, obviously it helps with doing it during PTSD Awareness Month, right? But after that, we kind of tailored the cigar around the name. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit outside the box. I wanted to kind of create that long stare, or that long version of a cigar. But as everybody knows that has tried to smoke a Lancero or a Lancet, they come up with different issues. When you start getting the ring gauges into like 38, 39, you're more susceptible to burn issues, at least. And so Ish and I kind of, I ran it through ran it by him and was like, what if we did it like at a 42? You know, do you think that it would kind of mitigate just a little bit of that burn, you know, at least potential? And so got that going, got some samples in the door. I mean, I probably smoked 6 or 7 out of the, I think, 10 samples that he sent me, and none of them had burn issues.
So for anybody who didn't hear or see, what's the name of the cigar?
So it's called the 1,000-Yard Stare.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's, how did the whole meeting and get up with Ish happen? Because we've had Ish on here. We absolutely love Ish and what he does. And he is not only a wealth of knowledge, but when you want to call someone a master blender, the man knows his shit.
Yeah.
So how is it that you decided that, you know, you were going to do that?
Well, what's funny is way back when, before I started, this would kind of give you some context. Before I actually got with the manufacturer that I have now, I actually had reached out to Ish, and schedules didn't line up, and just, you know, it just didn't work out. Not for any negative reason, but just didn't work out. Kept pushing, and then got the 5-core line that I have up, and then I really wanted to do something for, you know, I mean, this was something I planned in the middle of, or late last year rather. And, you know, with everything that I do with Silent Hero, you know, I always feel like, you know, I'm trying to represent the veteran community the best that I can. And so with that, you know, I don't ever want to half-ass anything. You know, I want to make sure that I'm with a guy or a gal, you know, whatever, that knows their shit. And when they know their shit, you know, I know they're not going to BS me to just kind of sell me something. So Ish, I actually reached back out to Ish and was like, hey, you know, can we jump on the phone? You know, I want to release a new cigar, and I want to kind of pick your brain and see, you know, if you could help me come up with finalizing that blend. Like, I want to do something a little bit unique and outside the box, but not too crazy. You know what I mean? Like, still keep it pretty tame, but make it a little exciting.
So whose idea was it to go into broadleaf?
That was actually Ish's. Yeah, and Ish had mentioned PA broadleaf, and I was like, oh, that's actually sick. I didn't think of that, because I just really haven't seen a whole lot of people doing it. And that was one of the things I told Ish was, you know, I want to do something that's a little outside the box that you don't see a lot of. Hence as to why, you know, I have the Candela the way that I do. You know, I wanted to push it outside the box and do something that other people don't, or at least, you know, haven't done at this point.
And speaking of the man appeareth. What's up, Ish?
What's up, Ish? Man, that is really cool. Like, every person.
I think you said his name 3 times and he appeared.
It's like Beetlejuice, man. Yeah.
Every person that's ever had the pleasure of blending a cigar with Ish is like, this fucking guy. Like, he just knows exactly what to do to get exactly what you want. It's crazy. Like, I don't know exactly the experience you had, but that's what everyone seems to say. Like, he always knows which way to go on those cigars. Yeah,
and I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, especially when you're trying to release a cigar, you know, whether it's new or it's just your core line, you know, you want it to come out strong, man. You want it to look presentable, and obviously you want you want to have faith in your product that people are going to enjoy it, and you're pushing out a good product as well. And with Ish, you know, I personally felt like I was in the best hands possible. And for someone that prides themselves on doing, like, you know, crazy blends like the Transylvanian tobacco and all kinds of shit, I was like, yeah, this is my guy. You know, like, I know he knows what he's doing. You know, I know he's not going to jerk me around. You know, let's just, you know, let's not reinvent the wheel here.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that first conversation and then getting those samples in. You know, how'd that conversation go?
Really well. I mean, you know, I think what people will be surprised is Ish is very easy to talk to. I mean, you know, he is. I mean, especially, at least from my position. You know, my position, you know, I understand and I respect the wealth of knowledge and the time in the game that he has. And so when he talks, you know, I'm making sure that I'm listening. You know, I got I got to make sure that he's got the full undivided attention. And so it went as well as I expected. A lot of, just a wealth of knowledge. I would kind of bounce things off of him, and he would kind of give me like an idea if it would work, wouldn't work, why it wouldn't work. And I'm a naturally curious person. Like, I want to know why it's not going to work. Hard to understand.
It says easy to talk to, hard to understand. Well, I'll leave it at that.
But yeah, no, and so no, it went really well, and I'm very grateful for having the opportunity to work with him, and continue to work with him for future projects that I have.
Nice. So when you guys were talking in that first initial call, was that when you guys came up with the idea behind using broadleaf, or is that something of, hey, let me send you a couple of different samples of different blends and let's talk about each one of them?
So we mentioned Pennsylvania broadleaf, and then he does, obviously he has like the Kubra as well. And so he actually sent me Pennsylvania broadleaf and Kubra, and he was like, I want you to try both of them and tell me what you think, and so on and so forth. And so that's really how that happened. I mean, once we were kind of in the conversation and everything, it sounds kind of weird to say out loud considering how long it took me to cook up 5 cigars, but it was one evening. Like, okay, we're gonna do a 42 and a quarter. I'll send you the Pennsylvania broadleaf, I'll send you the Kubra, you let me know which ones you like the most, get some second some third-party feedback, and go from there, and let me know. And
Nice.
It was just like that.
So how long did it take you to pick out which one that you liked when he sent you the broadleaf and the Kubra? Was it like, oh, they're running neck and neck, or was it like, oh wow, this broadleaf?
Really the biggest thing that, like, I'm not gonna say the Kubra was bad by any means. Like, the Kubra was also very good. The biggest thing for me is, again, like, I don't see too many people doing Pennsylvania broadleaf wrappers, and especially like in a 7 1/4 by 42. So that was the biggest thing for me, was more or less kind of stepping out of the box and kind of stepping to the side a little bit. And like, my biggest thing is trying to reintroduce people to wrappers that maybe aren't as popular anymore for whatever reason it may be. And obviously the Kubra isn't the most popular, but like I said, I just don't really see too many Pennsylvania broadleafs, and that was the biggest determining factor for me.
So walk us through this new cigar. Smoking it, what do you experience? Tell us about, those of us who are, the cigar geeks who want to know wrapper, binder, filler, but also want to know kind of what to expect when we're smoking it. When you're smoking it, what comes to mind?
So due to that size, that cigar is an absolute flavor bomb. And so for me, what I'm getting on that first third is it is incredibly smooth, and it's earthy with a little bit of chocolatey notes. You're starting to get a little bit of that spice, from the Ligero that's in there. And it kind of continues out that same way all the way up until that, at least for me, until that last third. And that last third, it kind of starts to get a little bit stronger. The flavors start to get a little bit more intense. I think mainly because the tobacco's obviously heating up a little bit. And that's the main flavor profile I get from it, is a lot of earth, a lot of cocoa, espresso, and a little bit of that black pepper in there as well.
Sounds like a good one. Guys, if you got any questions that you would like to put in here to ask Bryce about this new cigar that he's got coming out, or any of the other cigars in his line, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you've got anything about the blending process that, if he may not be able to answer, it looks like we still have Ish in the house. He may be able to post some answers in there as well. So let us know what you think.
Yeah. So let's get away from the new cigar a little bit. We'll come back to it. For we do definitely have some newer viewers since the last couple of times you've been on. Give everybody a little bit of your background of what got you into the cigars and your brand basically, and what you guys do to help the veteran community and PTSD awareness. We are in that month. I know I spoke on it a little bit earlier in the intro. We're in that month where I think guys need this moment to talk about things, and really get things out there. So, I mean, just kind of give everybody a little brief overview of everything, and we'll see what other questions roll in.
Yeah. So, a little interesting fun fact for people that haven't heard it before. My mom, actually, when I was 18 years old, was the one that actually got me into cigars. So she gave me an acid Cuba Cuba as my first cigar. Kind of figured out early on that I liked the tobacco taste, but I didn't really care for that intense infusion. Some people do, but and that kind of is what spiraled into the rabbit hole that I've seemed to have found myself in. So I started researching. I started going just completely headfirst, and started picking up sample packs left and right from really anything that they had inside of the cigar lounge. I mean, I didn't know the difference between one brand or the other. I didn't have any opinions at the time. I was just trying it. And then really where the brand comes from is I'm a 27-year-old. I'm a combat Army veteran. And when I got out, I guess a year before I got out, I was diagnosed with PTSD and a couple other not so great mental health disorders. While I was in, I experienced a lot of service member suicides and stuff like that. And that really, obviously, that really changes you as a person. And so when I got out, I ended up moving out to Wyoming, where I currently am now. And I kind of had that aha moment, I went and grabbed a cigar, grabbed a cup of coffee, and was like, you know what, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to turn cigars, which is, a passion and a hobby, and I want to turn that into a business, and not only just turn it into a business that, provides a good quality cigar and good flavor. I want to give back to the community, because, again, I got to unfortunately witness firsthand how beat up the community is, and dealing with that as well from my own family and things of that nature is really what spiraled me into starting Silent Hero Cigar. So what we do is we take 10% of our profits each month, and we partner either with a new not-for-profit company that helps veterans with PTSD in some way or some form, whether that be service dogs, which is kind of a bigger one because I also have a service dog, so I know that that's what works for me. I've partnered with organizations that do a lot of morale building events, like they take veterans with PTSD out fishing, hunting, camping, morale building event kind of things. And that was really what I wanted. The cigars were more or less just a catalyst and a vehicle to provide a good product to my consumers, but also to get back into my community and actually have a tangible impact, instead of just sitting there watching it and watching my brothers and sisters suffer, and I can't do anything. You know what I mean? So that's where everything really has kind of came from, essentially.
So let's get into the crazy part. I said at the beginning that you are the current world champion in Real Smoke podcast history. You've been on here 4 times.
Well,
what? Here we go. We haven't even been on here for a year. How long have you been around?
So I started selling in August. So I've been around for 11 months or 10 months.
Exactly the same as us.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 months.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was getting at. It is one of those funny things. Me and Mick have talked about it quite a few times. we have brands on here that's legacy brands. That's been, they're getting into that legacy role. They've been around for 15, 20, 30 years. We got to bring out one of the guys who's been out here as long as we have, and we get to sit back and watch you grow. So that's, and growing with the conviction and, the goal of, I want to help my brothers and sisters out. It's not about, I want to put out a cigar. I want to put out a cigar that has a purpose, and your purpose is noble. I mean, that's an amazing purpose. So, congratulations on everything so far in 11 months. And thank you for also being willing to be a part of this little thing that we have.
Of course.
Yeah, I will also add to that and say that, we've enjoyed all of your cigars. The Maduro is great. The Candela is my favorite Candela, although I've only had like 2 or 3. You were my first Candela. And I know Robert mentioned earlier that he was having one in the hot tub as we were coming on. So you've definitely taken over that market of great veteran-owned, great cigars that we truly all enjoy. And I'm excited to get our hands on this one. Even though tonight didn't quite work out the way we had planned on it, we appreciate you reaching out to us to kind of announce and talk about your cigar.
Of course. Yeah. All right. Okay.
This has been in the plan since November.
Yeah.
November, December. Me and Mick were getting ready to go through our Christmas break area, and we just got done finalizing that, hey, Mick's going to take off a couple of weeks in May. I'm going to take off a week in June, and we're going to and since I'm taking off that week, we're going to shut down and we're going to cancel everything out for June. That's going to be, that's going to be our 4 weeks off, 2 weeks in May, 2 weeks in June. We're going to shut her down. And literally within 24 hours, I'm sitting in the bedroom, just kicked back, drinking something, watching a podcast. And I get a message from Mick saying, about your vacation. And it's like, okay, why? What's going on? And he sends me the thing, says, Bryce has got a cigar that he wants to launch, and he wants to do it on the show. And it's like, cool, we're back. Let's go ahead and do it. Set it up. It'll be fine. We got this. So for you to reach out to us, that meant a lot. Really quickly, got a couple things, questions, and I'll let Mick go ahead and go into his next question. So after this, John says his question is, who has better hair? I'm not sure who he's asking about, whether it's Mick and Bryce or whether it's Ish and Bryce. I don't know. So be a little more specific on that one, John, and we'll get back into it. Ish jumps on here and says it was the same blend with different wrappers. Even though a wrapper is a very small factor in changing the flavor of the cigar, the Pennsylvania red broadleaf is uncommon to be in cigars. So win-win. Cool. Yeah. I can't wait to try what Bryce has coming out. I would love to try the Kubra as well, because I'm a fan of the Kubra as well. So Robert says, last question real quick. Robert says, Bryce, you already know what I'm smoking. I bet it's a Candela. But I can't wait to try the new one. I'm also planning on starting the One More Day Bulldog Tag cutters in a few weeks.
Shit. That's cool.
So can't wait to see that one. Guys, if you don't know, check out Robert's Instagram account, 13 Knives, XIII_knives. He makes the best cigar knives on the market. Don't let any of these other weird name things fool you. He's got the best ones out there. So John says he's got better hair, Ish or Bryce?
I'll let Ish answer that.
I'm not jumping in that one.
Yeah.
So
I've been bald since I was 19, so I am fucking good, man. I'm out of this conversation.
I got 2 major sunburns on the top of my head one summer doing yard maintenance, and completely had 3rd-degree burns on my head to where I was in the hospital for one of them. So I have so many scars on the top of my head, I can't grow hair. So yeah, I know I'm not in this one. It says the fact it was actually my fault. The cigars could be here last week, but on my mind, I had the release for the 7th. Didn't know about tonight. My apologies, guys. How dare you, sir? How dare you? It's all your fault. How dare you? And Greg says that's awesome, Robert. So I guess we got people waiting to see these awesome cutters. So Mick, the floor is yours. Go ahead and ask.
No. Two quick things. I've had 2 other knife companies that reached out about sponsorships, and I just can't cheat on Robert like that. He's one of our Patreon subscribers. He's a close friend, and he's part of our TriStar group. We just can't do it, man. Robert, we'll promote you till the day the show closes, man. So just letting you know. And back to
100% on that one. Yeah. Mick came up with the idea and said that, hey, we got so and so brand asking us if we want to sponsor their knives, and the only thing I sent back to Mick was conflict of interest, and I just got a thumbs up from him. Usually I take a thumbs up as like somebody give me the bird. But that's
I use it a lot.
That's not happening.
No,
Ish says, let's call it even on the hair.
I like it. And no, we usually end all of our shows with whoever we interview and say, hey, if you got anything coming up, let us know, and we'll help you promote it. We'll help you do it. And I'm happy to see that starting to come full circle, and starting with you, Bryce. It's oddly enough because you're our most visited guest ever. But we definitely appreciate you reaching out to us, even though it didn't quite work out, man. We do appreciate you actually reaching out and doing this because, we're happy to support anything you're a part of. And this community, we never did this for any kind of personal gain or anything. We want to just grow this community, and continue to grow what you guys are building and help you promote it along the way.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been super, I don't know, it's been super rewarding to kind of see the impact that we've been able to have just in the 10 months that we've been around. I mean, donating well over $2,000 at this point to these organizations that come out and take care of our veterans. I mean, it's been fantastic. I mean, even for those that may not know, last Christmas I went out and fed the homeless veterans that are here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I fed a little over 70 people. To me, I stood out in the freezing ass cold with my service dog and just, loved every minute of it. I mean, that was the first time I've actually sat there in, 25-degree weather with the wind whipping that I just did not give a shit. I was just so pleased to see, your own thought and your own concept coming alive and actually doing what you want it to do. I feel like there's just no better feeling.
100% get that one, because what you said about what you're doing is what we're doing. Our goal from day one is to introduce newer brands to a larger audience, and to be able to see, that come back to us. I get that feeling. Love the fact that it's mission oriented. I mean, you have this brand that you wanted to serve a cause, and you're not willing to stand outside in the cold and make sure that cause happens. So, congrats on that one. Ish jumps on here and says, hey, I recognize things and I call them by their name. I might make one with a Cooper wrapper just for you. So be good. I will be absolutely good. I will be on Santa's list. And if you're Santa,
let's go.
If you are Cigar Santa, I will be on the good list. I promise. Cigars with Angel says, I know I'm missing a good show here. Stuck at my son's varsity banquet. Definitely going to go back and start over and watch again. Yeah, great episode so far, but congratulations to whatever your son is winning or earning at his banquet. So enjoy that.
Yeah. Cigars with Angel, good supporter, man. He's always on every week. So good people there, man.
Oh yeah.
But no, man, it's awesome to see you grow. So I don't know, Charles, where do you want to go from here? Do you want to have him go over the line? Do you want to take it back a little? What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? We kind of got a little open air time here.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of his history is back on some of our other episodes, so people can go back and watch that one. Let's keep it going forward from here. I know you're coming out with this new one here. you're just in the middle of the year. What's the plans going forward? I mean, I know you're wanting to launch this one and get it out to as many people. First, is this a one and done release, or is this something that's going to come around like once a year, or is this going to be a new core item?
So I think it just kind of depends. I mean, just really depends on how it's received in the market. You know, like if, you know, release it, and it's immediately sold out, then, you know, hey, I can't argue with that. If it kind of trickles out and takes a little longer to move it, which I don't foresee that happening, then yeah, it'll be just a little limited release. But I am going to be working on a permanent 6 core line cigar, probably by the end of summer going into fall. So I'll start working on that with Ish. And yeah, I mean, really what I would love to do is have it as a full-time cigar. You know, the 1,000-yard stare and having that be a staple. But like I said, you know, with it being, I understand I've released 5 cigars prior to this one. But with doing something that's a little bit different, a little bit outside the box, you know, I just want to see what happens. You know what I mean?
I will say you've obviously done very well on your own, but you add Ish behind a cigar, it definitely doesn't hurt you. You know what I mean? Like it's a name that everyone knows in the industry, and I have no doubt you're going to do very well with this one as well.
But and the thing too is, like, you know, again, I love to learn, and you know, I feel like if I've been able to kind of blend out 5 cigars that you know, are doing very, very well for someone that's, you know, never been in the industry ever, and I haven't even approached a year, and I'm about to be in 18 shops come the middle of this month. You know, I understand that, you know, I've got to be on to something. And what I feel like when I go towards Ish and, you know, start that process is, again, you know, I'm able to sharpen up my blending skills even more, because again, this is a guy that's been doing it probably as long as I've been alive, or a little bit longer. So again, it's a win-win for me. I mean, I get a fantastic cigar. I get to give, you know, people that support my company a great smoking experience, and I get to actually learn from someone that knows what they're doing and can teach me how things blend together and why things, again, will work and won't work. And that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, I hope you didn't take that as a knock towards you, because you have done outstanding for yourself, man. Like, honestly. And but I guess my whole point is it's kind of cool to see, like, literally me, Charles and I with the podcast thing is literally exactly where you are timeline wise, and it's kind of the same thing. Like we're just out there having fun and kind of building our numbers and doing our thing, and you're doing the exact same thing. So it's really cool to see, man. All the success you've had so far, I just have no doubt this one's gonna definitely keep you in that same trajectory, man. It's awesome. We're super happy for you.
Oh yeah, no, brother, don't worry about it. I didn't take it that way. No. But I mean, again, you know, I'm a humble human being. Like, you know, I understand that I'm a novice at it, and you know, the knowledge that I do have is just understanding, you know, from a education standpoint of tobacco and what soil does to tobaccos and different growing regions and things like that. But you know, just like anybody will tell you, and you guys, I'm sure, understand it too. You know, just like when you're in school and you're learning how to do something, it's a little different when you get on site and you start figuring it out. Like, and you're like, hey, man, that looks
hands
good.
On.
Yeah, that looks good, but dude, like, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
you know.
So whether this becomes a core line product or something that you do, you know, every now and then, you know, this could be, I mean, not comparing the two, but comparing the two, this could be your version of like the Las Calaveras. I mean, it could be a cigar that is not limited in release, but limited in production, and comes out every year around this time for this cause. And once it's sold out, maybe you do it again next year. Maybe you change the blend a little bit next year. Maybe it's the same blend, different size next year. But it could be something that becomes your annual release, just to, you know, raise awareness for the cause that you've got it for. But I will say that somebody says, looking through his glass ball, he will be sold out by the end of the week. Just saying. And I normally don't say anything about cigars. So Ish is projecting that, this cigar could be completely sold out in a week.
Well, I mean, it's for the couple of the shops that, for the samples I had left over, I gave those to a couple shops that, are, more of my bigger accounts, just to get their feel for it and see what they thought. And I mean, it's just, it's overwhelming, the I don't know, the positive response, I guess, or the positive feedback from even just the shops. And so I really genuinely think, and I know they're not blowing smoke up my ass, you know what I mean? Like, especially the one, I know she would tell me to kick rocks if it was really terrible, and she would keep it really honest. So with all of that, I was like, you know what, like, I feel good about it. Like, let's get this in front of some people, and let's raise awareness. And for those that may not know, also for the month of June, or for May and June rather, there's a organization in Cheyenne, Wyoming that actually I got my service dog from. And I've had, for those that may not know, also, I've had my service dog for 2 years. And he's been life-changing, like literally life-changing. And so now with Silent Hero, I'm in the position to be able to go back to that organization and to try to sponsor a dog for a veteran. And so that's what I'm doing for June in this release, and just all sales in general for the months of May and June. We're trying our damnness to make sure that we can either fully outright sponsor the service dog for that veteran so he doesn't have to worry about paying, or at least cut it down to the point where someone else might look at the remainder of that bill and might not cringe as hard at it. You know what I mean? So
that's amazing.
So give
man.
an update on Maverick and Maverick.
That's like the cigar Mavericks. And the dog, or the baby and the dog.
I'm not talking about the cigar. We know the cigar is great.
Yeah. So, so Maverick is 3 now. So he's been with me for about 2 years. And he's doing great. I mean, he's a member of the family. He's, I mean, quite frankly, I mean, he's my best friend. I mean, I take him to work every day. I mean, he's a seasoned traveler at this point. Him and I have gone all over Wyoming. He's gone into New Mexico. And the more that I'm able to step out and go towards these events, across the country, he'll be right there with me side by side. And so, I mean, nothing really too much has changed with him. He's still a, huge ass, the smartest dumb dog I've ever had in my entire life, but I love him to death. And then my son is growing like a weed, and he is getting smarter and talking by the day. So, I mean, couldn't be happier with either of them. It's truly just, it's nice to see things unfold in a positive manner. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned many times on our other podcasts and other shows we've watched, man, that how much of a difference that dog has made in your life, man. And that's dogs make a difference, I think, in all of our lives, and I know it has for me over the years. But just to see the change that it can make in someone's life, like any kind of traumatic, it really means a lot. So you'd mentioned about sponsoring that for another veteran, for getting them a dog. Is that something that, I mean, like, is that pretty much what this cigar's proceeds are going to go towards for sponsoring? Okay.
Yeah. So that'll go towards them. I know the veteran they've been working with, they're right now in the process of the paperwork, and I believe the puppies are, just getting to that age where they're able to, for the veterans to come in and more or less kind of pick them out and see, I mean, the picking out process is more or less just, like which one, kind of bonds with you the most as they can at 8 weeks old. And then from there, the dog will go through about 2 months of pretty rigorous training. So they'll go through manners, they'll go through specialty training. So whatever that veteran may need, like, for example, they can train the dogs how to open up the fridge. They can teach them how to turn the lights off, grab your medicine, remind you of your medicine. They can help you, like mine, for example, helps me with my disassociation. So like if I don't move for 30 seconds to a minute, you can definitely count on getting muzzle punched somewhere and bringing you back to real life. And I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I can't speak enough to what those dogs really do. I know a lot of veterans that have service dogs, and they can't say enough about them. I mean, it's really God's gift to mankind. Especially service dogs like that, where again, like they've got your back thick, through thick and thin, and it's more than a pet at that point. Like I said, it is your best friend. I mean, through and through.
So we got the Whiskey Loft says annual June release sounds like it could be a great thing. Could be, just depends on what they believe in. John says I'm more excited to meet Maverick than Bryce.
Yeah,
I get that.
The dog steals the spotlight. I'm telling you that right now, especially when I go to like events and stuff like that. Yeah, people are very and again, for those that may not know, Maverick, he is I think he's 93 pounds, and he's a full-size German Shepherd. So I mean, he's a stout boy, and to give people kind of perspective, I'm 5'6" and only 160 pounds. So I mean, the dog is a big boy compared to me. I mean, it looks interesting, to say the least. Yeah, no, he's a really sweet dog. I mean, yeah, I love him to death.
You and John are meeting up here at some point, right? I think he's coming out to see you. Isn't that what? I thought that was supposed to happen sometime over the summer here. Maybe I was wrong, but I know when I talked to John last, I'm pretty sure he said something about actually going out to Wyoming for something.
I think so. I'm pretty sure, John, you can always correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure for that he was talking about going up to I believe North Dakota, where Big Stick Cigar Lounge is, and doing an event up there. And so since my cigars are with them as well, I was going to try my best to go up there, and that way I could meet Jake, and I could also meet Aldi as well, and of course Josette, the lounge owner.
So the last time that we had you on, one of the things I asked was, what is something that you're looking forward to see here in the future? And you said, I want to start getting into lounges. You just said that, I think you said you had just your first lounge. You wanted to start doing some cutting lights. So let's talk about what's new. Let's talk about, how you personally have, changed and gone into the industry and doing more of that kind of stuff. How many lounges are you in? How often are you doing cuts and lights? Kind of where are your cigars located at? Are you getting them across the country, or are they, staying kind of home?
So yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So, right now I'm currently in 18 cigar lounges. So I'm going to be in, I believe 3 shops in, Shreveport, Louisiana, which is, as you saw, Gary Purdue had mentioned. And then I'm down in New Mexico, which I'll be doing a cut and light over there at, Lady Huntington's Cigar Lounge on Saturday, actually. And then from there, it's kind of spread out all over the place. I mean, I'm in North Dakota, I'm in Alabama, I'm in Georgia, I'm in PA. I'm in talks with Hayes Gray Cigars. I'm in North Carolina. Yeah, John's just doing my job for me right here. And John, and I will say, I accredit a lot of the success I've been having with these shops to John, because, again, like when you're new into a spot, especially with the cigar industry, you don't know the little things, that can make shops, especially, kind of turn away from you. And so John was pretty pivotal and kind of taking me under his wing a little bit and being like, hey, dude, like, Oh yeah, and Michigan, and so John was actually very pivotal in that, and keeping me from making mistakes the first go around. And I mean, you only have one time to make a good impression. You know what I mean? So John was a big help in that regard with knowing what to expect, what's a fair, um, fair expectation. I guess I'll put it that way.
So it looks like, one of the things I love hearing is that, from the first time we talked to now, you've grown quite a bit. Not only have you grown in the success of your brand, but as a cigar entrepreneur, you have grown a lot as well. It sounds like you've learned a lot more about the industry, and it sounds like your brand is, getting out to the masses. So congratulations on that one. So that's pretty awesome to hear.
Well, thank you.
So let's go back into, what your core lines are. We know that you have the 1,000-yard stare coming out. For anybody who hasn't got to try your cigars, let's do a brief run through of what you're currently offering. That way people can get a chance to go try them, and they can go and, sample, what you have to offer.
Sure. So I'll just start from from the Candela. I mean, I think that's what has really given me my namesake in the industry off the bat. The Candela, or the Maverick Candela, and the other thing too, I'll preface with, is all of my cigars, all the names of them have a specific meaning. Something that's related to PTSD. Some are related to people that have fallen due to PTSD, and it's a remembrance thing to keep their memory and keep their story alive. And so with that, so the Maverick Candela is an Indonesian wrapper binder and a Nicaraguan filler. Like I said, that has been the cigar that has given me definitely my namesake. I mean, that was a tough blend. And then moving on from that, we have the Chachi Connecticut. It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut. It's definitely not a typical Connecticut, in the sense that it has a little bit of Ligero in it. So you're getting a little bit of that strength and a little bit of that pop, but it's not overwhelming. Like if you gave it to a typical Connecticut smoker, it's still right up their alley. It's not going to be too harsh and abrasive. And then the Blend 88. The Blend 88 is my Habano. It's a Nicaraguan Puro. So the wrapper, binder, and filler are all Nicaraguan based tobaccos. The box press is also a Nicaraguan Puro, and that's also in a Habano. I did the box press purely because some people, they just enjoy box presses. So I kind of wanted to, if I was going to do a box press, I wanted to kind of do it in that middle of the road type of wrapper and blend. And then lastly, I have the Founder's Choice, which is the San Andreas Maduro. And that is, when I ran the numbers, actually, that cigar is actually my best seller. And then my Candela is right behind it. And that cigar is fantastic. I mean, it's a Founder's Choice for a reason. I mean, I blended that to be something that was my personal favorite. So anybody that cuts and lights a cigar, that is a clear representation of my palate and what I go to, on a regular basis. If anything, I might have turned down the strength just a tad, because I mean, a cigar that I really enjoyed, and it was the Rocky Patel Super Ligero before they discontinued it. And that was, that was an assault to the mouth. I mean, you had to be sitting down and you better have ate before you smoked that thing. But it was a hell of a good cigar. I mean, it tasted fantastic. But, so, I mean, that's essentially what my core line consists of. And, and again, that's what I've been running for this past almost year, before the 1,000-yard stare. And again, with having a new release, I'm excited to see how people respond to it a year after or almost a year after dropping those 5 original ones.
Yeah, we're a fan of all of them, man. But I will say I saw a lot of comments there. I saw Nick say he's a huge sucker for a box press. That's me as well, man. I love a box press, but I think my 2 favorites so far are the Candela and the Founder's Choice, man. They both hit every time. I've never had a bad experience with any of them. The burn's amazing, construction's phenomenal, and that Candela to this day just surprised the shit out of me, man. It was I did not know what to expect. I was scared of green cigars forever, and that one fucking rocked my world. I think I bought 4 or 5 more since then. So I mean, it's they're always a good stick.
Yeah, and and I always tell people too, because I think it's still funny to this day, and I'll probably always find it funny, is like when and it wasn't just one individual. I mean, it was the mass consensus, for people that I had shared that I was gonna release a Candela. The mass consensus was, don't do that, it won't ever sell because people don't like them. And for me, maybe it's me being stubborn, or me just taking the mentality of like, I'll use it as a learning lesson. If that's the case, at least then I'll be able to understand what people don't like about it, because at that point, when I blended that Candela, I mean, like, I could say it all day, but I mean, you'll also see it all over my page. I mean, you'll see it on my website. People say that Candela is nothing like what else is on the market. I mean, it's truly a one of a kind, and I absolutely love that, because I wanted to revive that wrapper. I wanted to show people that it's still a fantastic cigar. You just have to you just have to manipulate it a little bit. You have to kind of play around and tweak it. You kind of have to nurture it a little bit. It's kind of like that high maintenance girlfriend. You know what I mean? You got to pay attention to her all the time. You know what I mean? Like, Candelas can be tricky. They're very fragile. Smoke it too quick, it can pop, randomly somewhere on the wrapper. It's a tricky cigar to get correct. And, and again, like, I had a really strong conviction that I had it correct. And if anything, I was very right, or I was very sure about that blend. I knew that blend was going to do something, and I didn't know what. Now, did I expect people to say that it's the best Candela on the market and it's the best Candela they've ever smoked and things of that nature? No, I mean, I wouldn't have ever imagined that in 1,000 years. But I'm truly humbled by that, and couldn't be more happy with, again, my first time going around and trying something new.
Well, man, you 100% nailed the Candela. So, I mean, just like Mick said, I haven't met one person that, whether they enjoy or don't enjoy a Candela, they haven't liked yours. So congratulations on that one. I think you absolutely nailed that one. So let's circle back to the current cigar that you got coming out. So once again, let everybody know the name, a little bit of information about it, what it's made out of, and then more importantly, where can they find this to be able to buy it?
Yeah, so the name of the cigar is 1,000 Yard Stare. Again, we wanted to kind of give the name something that obviously represents PTSD as a core recognizable feature on people. Obviously, everybody's different, but there's been a mass consensus that there's always that long gaze, or that long stare. And I actually I did a post on it on my Instagram that goes into a little bit more detail, and actually I believe it was a World War II artist that came up with that name and drew up a painting and everything like that. And like I said, all of that is on my Instagram. So I won't bore everybody with the details of that, or at least get into the details of that. And so the cigar itself, with it being a Pennsylvania broadleaf and all of that, with it being unique, I wanted to capture all aspects of PTSD and kind of relate the cigar back to the name of the name of the blend. That's the biggest thing. Does that answer your question? kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, 100%. Where are people going to be able to buy the cigar?
Oh yes, of course. So on SilentHeroCigar.com, that right now is where we're going to actually be selling them. And like I said, it's that first come first serve. Once they're gone, then it'll be something that me and the team really reassess and go to the drawing board to see if this is something that we want to continue full time, or if this is something that we want to release annually. Like I think it was Randon that had said that. We just go from there. We want to let the results speak for themselves and let that kind of guide the decision. And like I said, I do plan to get with Ish, later this year, and actually do come up with one that I do want to for sure keep as a sixth line to that core line, or at least add on from there.
So is this going to be available in singles, 5-packs, bundles, or is this going to be how is this going to be sold as?
So I'm going to have them up as singles, and then I'll also have them in 3-packs as well. I don't know if you guys can hear that bird.
Yeah,
but there's a bird stuck in my office, so I am sorry about that. I don't even know how that happens.
It's better than geese.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But God,
it's not me tonight. Yes, thank you, Bryce.
You know what I mean? Don't worry, I got you. I got you covered. It wouldn't be a Real Smoke podcast without some kind of fucking bird in the background. It's got to complete the ensemble. So
it's not me tonight. I love it. This is fucking awesome.
Jesus Christ!
I will. I will tag on to that, man. So I feel like even though we didn't get them for tonight for the show, I feel like we're already ahead of the game because we bought the pre-release. So it's fucking awesome. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, and for podcast people, I definitely wanted to make sure, because again, Ish was telling me that as well. He had a really strong conviction that that these would go really quickly, and so if anything, I wanted to at least make sure that people that had the podcasts and stuff that wanted me on to announce the show or announce the blend rather were able to do so and have the cigar, so that way they could speak to it. And then I also had kind of opened it up briefly to a couple of shops to make to kind of test the waters and see what they thought. That way I could and so that's really what I am wanting to do, you know what I mean? Sorry, this bird's throwing me the fuck off. Holy shit. I'm usually not scatterbrained, but God bless America.
That was I do love that you have the bird tonight. It's for once I don't have geese and the bird is just fucking going crazy for you. It's awesome. But no, man, I agree. Yeah, you're gonna have ridiculous success with this, man, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And I mean, honestly, and again, not a dig, but I can't wait to get our hands on this, man, and actually review it for you and try it out. And everything you put out, man, has been phenomenal.
I think it would also be the brand with the most reviews. Once we review that one, I believe that will be the brand with the most reviews on the channel as well, because we've done 2 of his cigars. So,
oh yeah, because you did the Maduro and the Candela, right?
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah,
we did. Yep.
I had to shift out from the birdhouse. Holy crap! So you'll get to see the Wyoming sky above me. But yeah. So I mean, like I said, I can't be more excited. And again, I'm maybe more anxious than anything because I really want to see, really just how it goes, man. I mean, it feels like I'm back to day one where I'm releasing, 5 cigars and people are kind of looking at me like I'm an alien because, I didn't realize that was taboo to release that many in a core line off the bat. But, I guess it worked out.
Yeah, I hate to give John Aldi more props. His head won't fit through the door, but I think am I right, Charles? He was the one that introduced us to Bryce through TriStar.
No, it was Paul.
You're right. It was Paul.
Yeah.
You're right. It was Paul. But John's been a huge supporter of you throughout everything that you've done, man. And he's always a good supporter. When that fucker believes in something, he believes in something. Like he does not let up, man. So and I can't say anything. I'm the exact same way. But honestly, he supports things and people that he believes in, and it's always he's usually right. I hate to admit that, but he's usually right.
You're gonna really, really mess with John's head by talking like this. You need to stop.
Well, then John, close your ears, dude, because John, like I said, John has been a fantastic mentor, and he's been a really big help with again guiding me into the cigar industry, and again keeping the errors that I make to a very minimum, and and I can't say enough about that, and I appreciate it a ton.
Oh, we can't say much either because, the first supporter of the Real Smoke podcast was John. The first person to actually give us, the time of day was John. And the person who keeps, giving us information on other brands is John. So we can't say much bad things about John, but we can bust his balls a little bit and give him a hard time. But thanks, John. And Greg says, Swifty John is our favorite Aldi. That's his alter ego, is Swifty John. So I will say that, since the last time you were here, we do the hotbox questions. And we've had to change them up a few times because of, the questions got old after about 20 episodes. So we do want to bring back in the hotbox questions with you if you are willing to play the game. Are you willing to play the hotbox questions?
Excuse me. Of course.
All right. So before we do that one, we do have a special message from Cigar Army. They are the sponsors of this segment, but they do not have a video. They just have a simple ad read. The Cigar Army and Sanj Patel shop are teaming up to present Christmas in July, a Toys for Todd event happening Saturday, July 26th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Sanj's Smoke Shop. Your $100 ticket gets you a premium cigars, catered food, soft drinks, and it's BYOB. So feel free to bring your favorite drink. The best part is proceeds go directly to Toys for Tots and their incredible program helping kids in needs. There will be raffles, swag for purchase, 50-50 drawings, and more. It's a great way to enjoy a summer day, connect with the community, and make a real difference. Mark your calendars for Saturday, July 26th. Come out, light up, and give back. For more information, check out Cigar Army 3 on Instagram. So huge thanks to Cigar Army for all that you guys are doing for us, as well as guys, go out and check out Cigar Army for this awesome thing that they got going on with Toys for Tots. It's a great thing that they're working towards to help give back, and they gave back a lot last year thanks to everybody's help. So.
And buy a patch. Their patches are fucking cool.
Really quickly, before we jump into that one, Norman says, John, he's okay. John says, hey, Norm, been here the whole show today. Hey, Norm, what do you think about the show so far? Thank you. Josephus says, if you haven't seen Silent Hero episode, the Silent Hero Cigar Review Show, go check it out. It was inspired by Bruce and Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
Ish says, who is John? That's the only way I could pronounce that one. Great episode, Josephus. All right. So Mick always starts off the hotbox question. So Mick, start us out.
All right. Question number 1. What is your least favorite sound? And you are welcome to say the bird in your office, but go ahead.
Dude, that bird is battling number 1. I'm not even in there anymore, and it's still going. I honestly, the worst sound I've got to say has got to be it's got to be the OG, nails on a chalkboard, man. I can't stand that. Can't stand it.
Yeah, it sucks.
So, question number 2, fill in the blank for me. Cigars are all about what?
Experience.
Okay. I like it. All right. Question number 3. What is your favorite band or artist musically?
Um, dude, hey, if it's not the bird, it's the dogs, dude. Jeez. I would say my favorite artist, probably of all time, it's got to be Juice WRLD. It's a was a rapper that passed away back in 2019. That's probably by far the most I listen to.
I only know that name because my daughter's big into the rap world, and
Okay.
but this is also a confession, which I'm not sure you may have heard this on previous shows. I also utilize that for when we do the post show stuff to like promote the replay. I will also use that as the soundtrack for whatever you say. So there you go.
Well, right on.
So, question number 4: at 3 o'clock in the morning, when you just can't sleep, and you walk into the refrigerator, what is your favorite guilty pleasure?
Oh, dude, it's got to be grabbing candy out there, like grabbing a Hershey's bar out the fridge, dude. That's something to warm your soul right there. I mean, even though I know it's cold, I know I get it. Shut up. It just brings the life back to you. That's got to be it. Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of warming your soul, is
God.
cereal a soup?
No,
Ah, come on, man.
no.
That's the one that Matt Booth called me an asshole for.
Yeah.
But it's but it's protein in liquid. I try to sell it every week, but that's all right.
Can't do it. I'm thinking chicken noodle soup, and I'm like, man, I just can't get behind it. Cereal is just cereal, man. You know.
So, outside of the cigar world, question number 6: what is the one thing in your life you're most proud of?
Definitely my kid. Yeah, my kid is definitely my the biggest thing I'm proud of. I mean, I came from a family, that was a bit of a broken family. Dealt with a lot of uh, alcoholism and things like that. And to see my kid have a chance at life that unfortunately I didn't get to have as a kid, and see him run around and he's laughing, he's smiling. He's a happy kid. I mean, that right there is that's my biggest achievement, is giving him a life, and and a father that essentially I didn't really get. But instead of sulking on that, I figured I would pass that down to my son, and try to make it at least better for him.
God bless you, brother. That's that change that some people just need to be, and that's what you're doing, man. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I appreciate it.
Question number 7: if you could choose a superpower, what would it be and why?
To not sleep. That would be my superpower. Outside of the production, the productive level that you could be at. I mean, dude, I would absolutely love that. Between not sleeping, and you can just kind of keep doing your thing and keep rolling. You never feel tired. You don't have the negative effects of obviously negating sleep. That would be fantastic.
I have never heard that one, but you're right, man. You could get so much more done. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So, question number 8: you've been in this for almost a year now. So, what piece of advice would you give to somebody who's watching this right now that goes, all right, I like what he's done, I'm thinking about doing the same? What piece of advice would you give somebody who is interested in starting their own brand?
Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. It's the biggest. I mean, at least I look at it as that's a real superpower. Trust your instincts, trust your gut. And that goes holistically. That goes with the cigars that you want to release, like the blends, the style, the shapes, the sizes, whatever it may be, the color scheme, the branding, like obviously, it's your vision, it's your idea, and run with it. It's one of those things where I personally believe it's better to try than to never have tried at all and to always wonder what would have happened. So just give it, as my grandfather would always tell me, give them hell, just keep trying, man. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, then at least you gave it a shot, dude. And you didn't, wonder what would have happened if you would have kind of put that strong fear, because it is intimidating. Like, there's no joke. But if you put that aside and just trust your gut, stick to that color scheme, or not color scheme, but stick to that branding scheme, you'll be good. That'd be my biggest advice.
Ish says he already has the superpower that he never sleeps. And from the stories that I've heard from other people, going over to his house at 2:00 in the morning just to have a cigar, the guy never sleeps.
I was texting Ish last night at almost midnight my time. And in Florida, that is almost 2 a.m. And he was still wide awake picking up my cigars from customs. Like,
Wow.
I even told him, I was like, dude, you're an actual vampire, bro. Like, you've got to be like built different, and then I mean, he probably does.
I will tell you, I was that guy until I hit 45, man. 45 fucking kicked my ass. Like, I really had to ask myself, I'm like, so did I hurt something, or is this just the way I am now? Like, I really, like, 45 kicked my ass. Everybody said 40. 40 didn't affect me. 45, like, I used to sleep like maybe 3-4 hours a night, and now I'm like, I got to get at least 7, man. I'm like, 45 kicked my ass. But back to the questions. Question number 9: if you could have a cigar with any historical figure, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
That's a good one. Historical figure. I mean, I've got to almost say Winston Churchill. As a guy that just burns through cigars and champagne like that, I mean, one, damn well you're going to have a great time sitting there with him, because you're going to be drunk off your ass. And yeah, plus I feel like that'd be kind of interesting to kind of pick, a distressed Winston Churchill's brain with, Nazi Germany coming through and everything. I mean, it would be pretty interesting. But yeah, that would be the person I would choose. I feel like that'd be a good time.
So my final question, and I asked this to you the last time, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. So Little Maverick, who is probably either terrorizing your wife right now or currently trying to go to sleep. Little Maverick watches this podcast episode in 20 years. And he sees Dad on here. What biggest piece of advice can you give Maverick right now that you wish you would have had?
Someone else's perception of you is not your reality. So meaning, you can do whatever you want, man. Yeah, if you have a very strong conviction, it might not be the easiest thing in the world, but if you have a very strong conviction and you want to get it done, you'll find a way. And everything works out, good, bad, or indifferent. Like I said, at least if you tried something that's a little outside of your realm and comfort zone, you might not have all the answers, and at least you gave it a shot. At least then you won't ever have the regret of never knowing. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tough one.
That's a good answer. I like that. So before we close things up with you, man, one, thanks for being the champ on here. I mean, again, 4 times on here, and we've only been going for less than a year. So thanks for doing that. Let everybody on here know, once again, where they can find your stuff, whether it's online or whether it's at your website. Let them know what's coming up, and the floor is yours. I mean, let them know anything that you want them to know.
Sure. So before I get into that, so you can find all of my social media stuff underneath of the Silent Hero Cigar. Especially Instagram. Instagram, I think, is where we have probably the most following, and definitely the most active posts. I mean, we post everywhere, don't get me wrong, but Instagram is definitely our bread and butter. And so what I would recommend is going on SilentHeroCigar.com and then click the find us tab at the top. Find that brick and mortar that might be near you, or at least give it a look. I always tell people, go to those brick and mortars and support the shit out of them. I mean, even though you're buying from the brick and mortar, that brick and mortar is still supporting us. And by you buying from the brick and mortar, you're supporting them and us. So it's a win-win for everybody. And if you don't have a brick and mortar near you, we conveniently put at the top of that find us page our online retailers. So go on there. We're on Toro Cigar Company. They've got a sample pack on there. If you want a sample pack, pick one up from there. Again, you going over there and buying our product, you're supporting their small business and you're supporting us as well. And again, go on that find us page and take a look. And if you can't find anything that you're satisfied with, then by all means, buy cigars. I believe right now we're the only people that have merch online. I know Frankenmuth in Michigan, he has actually swag in store. So he has t-shirts, patches, stickers. I mean, he's got the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, again, the Tobacco House in Shreveport. And again, this is kind of the tip of the iceberg with Sound Hero Cigar with this release. We're not going to, just because we're doing this release, this definitely will not be our last, and again, this is just the beginning. And we're just having fun, man. We want to have fun. We want to spread the word about PTSD. And again, at least I hope, I hope that we can start to be that example that's leading in the front. I'm really, what I would love to see is other veteran companies. Doesn't have to be cigars, veteran companies in general, or just companies in general, donating to that cause. Finding, even if it's not a new one every single month, finding one that you absolutely can get behind and you love it, and just support them. Try to help these veterans that have fought, tirelessly and bravely for our country, and try to keep one more person here on this planet. I mean, that's the biggest goal. That's the goal we have with Silent Hero. You always tell people 22 a day. Our goal as a company, long term, we want to reduce that down to 21. If we can at least keep 7 of our brothers or sisters here a week, that's 7 that we would have lost without it. So that's ultimately the goal, and I hope to see a trend shifting that way to help our veterans.
So Josephus says, battling the inner me on the front lines. Cigars help by giving me something to look forward to. Thank you all, guys. Thank all you guys on screen and in the chat. You all are awesome. And then Josephus, thank you for your service and sacrifice. Big facts, Josephus. Ron is definitely pushing the product and the swag. And closing it out, Mitch says, Josephus, so true, brother.
Yeah, this community is something special, man. We say it every week. That was our main goal when we started doing this, was to build a community of people that we love to hang out with and just have fun. And it's so cool to see what you're doing. And it's kind of ironic that the timelines for you starting your company and us starting this podcast and where we're at right now, we're both growing every day, and it's just so much fun to see this. But we ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to promote people like you and what you're doing, and other companies that we love, but we always have your back, man. And everything that you're doing, it's definitely for the right reasons and the right cause, and that's what we're all about, man. It's awesome.
So not to interrupt real quick, but Robert just jumped on here with 13 Knives. Robert has said, I will give 10% of every cutter this month to whatever Bryce's charity is. So
thank you, my
guys, go check out 13 Knives, XIII_knives on Instagram. Link up with him. And he is going to give 10% of every one of his cutters to Bryce's charity. So huge thanks, Robert, for all that.
We love you, brother. That's awesome.
I appreciate that a ton, man.
Yeah, we man, what a great show. Like it didn't quite work out exactly the way we wanted, but man, I can't wait to get my hands on those cigars. And everything you do, man, we love what you do. And one last little thing. So you mentioned your wife a few minutes ago. Your wife likes all of our posts, but she will not follow us. She's been ghosting me for fucking months. So tell her it would really make my day if she would follow our page. I'm just saying, but it's all good.
Yeah, I
How
mean, she's
dare her.
So go ahead, dude, and speak your piece, bro. Speak your piece. Now, just speak. Now, I will preface this. Be careful. She's got a sharp tongue on her, man. Like she might give it back, but
I can handle it.
You know.
I was like, this chick, man, she likes everything that we tag you in and everything. Obviously, it's your wife, and it's cool. And I'm like, that's got to be his wife. And every time it sits there requested for like freaking 2 months, and I'm like, nope, unfollow. I'm done.
So, again, 4th time being on here. Thanks so much for doing this. Again, we want to have you back on here again. We do want to set up another round. We've already talked with Doc. We've actually got a couple of other people that we've talked to that's in the mental health industry, and whether it's military or not. So we would love to get, everybody back on here to do another mental health episode. I know this month is full of different podcasts doing mental health. I like the fact of not doing it this month.
Yeah.
Because we need to get it out other months as well. So we need to reach out with you towards the end of the year, and let's go ahead and set up another podcast with you, the doc, and a couple of our other members on here, and let's get that whole mental health thing rejuvenated, because it's just like every other cause. Yeah, you look at it for the month that they call for it, but it kind of slips your mind. Again, men's mental health, we need to bring that up all the time. So hopefully we can get you on here and do that one, and get you on here for podcast number 5.
Oh, absolutely, brother. I mean, I'd be honored to. I mean, it always kind of made me wonder, like, why or whoever chose June for men's mental health. Like I personally, I mean, whether it's correct or not, it's kind of just a belief that I've seen, and I mean, I experience it myself. I'm human. The holidays are tough. The holidays are arguably the toughest time, because it reminds you of, people you may have lost, or, you don't have, connections with anymore. It's a time that's supposed to be happy, but for people that are, truly struggling internally with like depression and things like that, I mean, it's a little bit of a dagger. And
so maybe that's how we end, because we always take out the end of the year. Maybe that's how we end our December session, is with a recall to men's mental health. So let's talk about that one. We'll get together. We still have a group chat with all of us on there. We'll get together and we'll try to get something set up.
I will say Doc was upset that she didn't get the invite tonight, but I'm like, it's Bryce's night. He's releasing a cigar. Chill out. It's okay. But Doc was like, what? We're doing a show with Bryce and I'm not involved? And I'm like, no. It's all good. But no, she's all in for another one, man. She was very proud of what we accomplished that night. We produced, and I still think it was probably one of our best shows, man. And I appreciate you being a huge part of that. And it's something, like Charles said, we want to continue. And I like the idea of doing it towards the end of the year. Like I agree. We have briefings on that at work all the time. That that time of year is obviously a very tough time of year for many veterans and people that struggle. And so it would be a great time of year to bring out a podcast and look for your invite for our 1 year anniversary. We're doing our anniversary show, and the friends and family one will probably be another night of stupid shit where like 100 people join and we just go crazy. But it's gonna be a fun time, man. So look for your invite for that. You're always invited to everything we do, man, and we appreciate you tremendously for being a part of everything that we've done so far. And man, here's to the future.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that a ton. Yeah. I unfortunately, I missed that last one, or at least I had to. I think that was actually, I had to run, and I actually got on the phone with Ish, I believe, and ended up being on the phone with Ish for about, I think, probably like 2 hours. Um, but no, I mean, I heard, especially from Aldi. Aldi was telling me how fantastic that show was and how much of a riot it was. So, yeah, I'll definitely make sure that I'm there the full duration this time. So I appreciate that a ton. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for jumping on here with us tonight. We'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. But again, let's get up in our group chat and let's get something started for the end of the year. We'll get that planned, and we'll put our heads together and figure out how we can make that another great, informative, and just an amazing message out to other people. So thanks so much for jumping on tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And sorry about the bird. And I guess I got to apologize for Ish because I was driving his crazy.
Much love, brother. We greatly appreciate it, man. Much love, for real. Thank you.
Take it easy. Have a great night. So just like that, number 32 is in the books. So he's always someone great to have on. Love hearing what he's got. Love hearing his mission. Love listening to everything about, what his cause is for. So another great night.
Yeah, I can't believe we're 30 plus episodes, man, in less than a year. We're if we didn't love this much, man, we'd look psychotic right now.
Yeah, we would. So we do have a couple other things to do tonight. We do have our cigar review. We do have some prizes to give away. We have one story from Cigar Public, and then we have the Meanwhile in Memphis. But before we do that, I want to jump into some of these comments. And guys, if you got comments, keep posting them in there. We will do our best as we're finishing out the evening to go ahead and to answer some of them. But Robert jumps on here and says his Instagram account is XII_knives_. So once again, he said he is giving away 10% of all of the cutters he sells this month to Bryce's charity. So go check out Robert on his Instagram. Check out the knives that he does. And like I said, I'm not kissing his ass because he's our friend. I'm not kissing his ass because he's a club buddy. I'm not kissing his ass because he's family. I'm kissing his ass because he makes the best damn cigar knives that's out there on the market. I don't care if it's from one of them weird named people or one of them off-brand people or something from China or Taiwan. This dude makes the shit right here. So go check out his knives.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed. John jumps on here and says, "Thank you, Charles and Mick, for all your support, brother. We're just we're not doing anything but just saying hi to people who are cool people, but we appreciate you saying that." Sorry. Let's see. Robert, strong work. That's awesome. Cigar community always paying it forward 100%. Gary says, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. Says, Liv is sneaky, sneaky. No shitty.
Yeah, she has not followed us yet. It's crazy.
It's because you're how you pronounce stuff, Mick. Or it could be the way that Greg typed shit. I don't know. But what he said. I will have to go back to a comment from Rob here in just a second, but Greg says, great podcast and awareness for the month. Josephus says, do you know how the book Moby Dick starts?
I don't.
Nope. Josephus says, call me, Ish. Have a great night, everyone. Kick and Wing 84, hit the like button, please, for the love of God, people. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help get us over the mark that we're at. Rob says, Mick, pronounce this.
Oranjestad.
So I do know it's a town in Aruba, something in Aruba. So say it again.
Oranjestad.
So you can let us know if that's correct or not. Josephus says, do the YouTube things. Please do. We really need it. Our algorithm on YouTube has completely just dissipated because we've been gone for so long. So we really need your all's help. Gary says, I was laughing at the live issues. Okay. Rob says, no.
All right, Rob, hook me up later.
Call Me Ishmael is how the book Moby Dick starts. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I read that sometime in high school. Would have never picked that up. So we do have a cigar review to do. I would love to know what you thought about this one. Guys, go ahead and keep typing in hashtag RealSmoke. If you got any comments, post them in there. If you want to talk to us, post it in there. We'll talk to you for a little bit. But I did get these kind of cattywampus, and that's one of these Southern words. If you don't know what it means, look it up. But I did get some of the sponsors cattywampus a little bit. But we will go ahead and say the cigar review tonight is going to be brought to you by the one, the only Beard Apothecary. So let's hear from Beard Apothecary.
Hey guys, listen up. Give your beard the VIP treatment it deserves with Beard Apothecary. They are a small business on a big mission, crafting top-tier beard care products made by hand in small batches for ultimate freshness and care. A healthy, well-groomed beard isn't just a look, it's a lifestyle. That's why they use only the finest premium butters and oils to deeply nourish your beard and skin. No more dryness, irritation, or those dreaded split ends. Your beard will be living its best life, soft, manageable, and downright irresistible. At Beard Apothecary, they believe in the power of natural ingredients and serious pampering. Why settle for basic when your beard can be freaking legendary? Check them out at beardapothecary.com or on Instagram at beard_apothecary. Your beard will thank you.
And a huge shout out to John and his wife, because we do know that she's our favorite Aldi. But huge thanks to them for all their support. Again, we say this about every episode. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been started, because they were the first person or first group to show us love and to say that, hey, we got you back. So Beard Apothecary, John, Tanya, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And we will be getting back here shortly with giving you some great Beard Apothecary products as some prizes. But we do have a cigar review. Are you ready for your review, sir?
I am. So
well, let her rip, Tater Chip.
I'm going to preface this by saying, I told Charles this before we went live, that I enjoyed an Oz Family Caratoba on the beach in Aruba. And no, I did not review it. But if I would have that day, it probably would be my top-rated cigar I've ever smoked. It's still really good. But that day on the beach with those winds blowing, yeah, it was pretty outstanding.
Oh, so, hush. Just review the thing.
I'm going to say. All right, I'm slow rolling this shit, man. All right, I'm just making sure we get to the 2-hour mark. I think we're good. So aroma from the body, I got light barnyard raisin. Aroma from the foot, I got barnyard and dark fruit. Taste from the cold draw, leather, raisin, natural sweetness. First third notes, I got some cedar, mixed nuts. Not mixed nuts, never mind. Maple. Maple was pretty persistent throughout it. Like, I got this little touch of maple in the back end. Light earth, light pepper, retro. I got light pepper and spicy, like a little bit of cayenne almost spice. Second, third notes, I got woodsy, savory, cashew. Cashew was pretty consistent throughout. Again, touch of maple, light earth, black pepper, retro, black pepper, leather. Again, final third, I got woodsy, cedar, cashews, touch of salt. I got a little bit of saltiness. Maple again, light earth, black pepper, and the retro I got black pepper, leather, and a touch of it like a mineral note, probably the saltiness. The pre-light experience, I gave it an 18 out of 20. Flavor enjoyment, 14 out of 15. Construction characteristics, 28 out of 30. Perfect draw, perfect burn. It was outstanding. Smoke production and final thoughts, I gave it a 32 out of 35. I would absolutely buy a box of these. Outstanding stick. 92.
Not bad. 92. All right. So, sorry. All right. So, I had to write down that information, but let me go into mine real quick and then we'll go into what we thought. Aroma off the body, plum, manure, a little bit of chocolate, aroma off the foot. Got a tart note, chocolate fig Newton. Taste off the cold draw, fig Newton, tart and fruit. On the light, black pepper, earth, hickory, smoked meat, and a slight sweetness. Into the first, lots of bold flavors, earth, wood, smoked meat, sweet jelly glaze. It reminded me of if you smoked a Texas-style beef, but put a jelly glaze on it. That's what I was getting from it. Retro, lots of pepper, spice, hickory, plum, jelly, smoked beef. Draw is great, medium resistance, burn is perfect, ash is tight and stacks dimes, smoke is thick and full and chewy, finish is long and leaves a nice sweet note on the palate. Strength is a medium plus. In the second, still a Texas-style charred beef, hickory, molasses, and spice. Retro is soft but exciting, softer but exciting, citrus, molasses, and hickory. Smoked meat and spice, almost like a street taco, not the cigar, but almost getting the notes of an actual street taco. Draw and burn ash still the same, fantastic. Smoke is still thick and flavorful, medium to long finish. Strength is a medium plus to full minus. In the final third, a lot more of the same, just a little more toned down. Still hickory, but the addition of earth and espresso. Retro is molasses, earth, wood with a slight cream sweet note. Burn is still razor sharp. Ash stacks dimes the whole time. Draw is great. Smoke is chewy. Finish is long and enjoyable. Finish or strength is a full minus. So pre-light experience, I gave it a 20 out of 20. Flavor enjoyment, I gave it a 13 out of 15. Construction, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Draw a 9 out of 10. Burn a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts and smoke production, a 32 out of 35. My score gives it a 93. Your 92 and my 93 makes it a 92.5. We round up. Real Smoke Podcast gives the Caratoba from Oz Family Cigars a 93.
Very nice. Yeah, I've had 3 of these now. Enjoyed every damn one of them, man. That was an outstanding smoke, man. Tim does not disappoint on his sticks, man.
No, I mean we've done a couple of his cigars and they all rank up there pretty high. Josephus says beard jelly cures cattywampus facial hair.
It sure does.
John says salty and nuts.
Devin would love this one.
Chris is wondering why there's no creamy and nutty. So I will say I did enjoy this one. Do want to thank Oz Family, Tim, for sending. He didn't send them to us. He sent the final box that they had from PCA over to a shop near me, and I was able to go there and purchase a handful of them. And I sent Mick some, and I of course grabbed some. So huge thanks for him to be able to get this out to us. We may actually be the first podcast to review it. We may actually be the first review of it. So be interesting to see what our flavor notes and our scores stack up behind everybody else. Robert says Caratoba is my cigar of the year. It is. It's in the tie, three-way tie for second, I think, for us. So yes, it is up there with us. So we enjoyed it quite a bit. So I enjoyed that one a lot.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Tim, for doing that for us. I wish we could have been just like with this podcast. We actually were the cigars were sent to us. We just were not able to get it out in time. So
yeah, it definitely it ranks up there in my top 5 for the year for sure. It had to transition that I enjoyed. The flavor profile was amazing. Yeah, it was a great cigar through and through.
All right, guys, this is your last chance, real quick, to go ahead and type in hashtag RealSmoke in the comments below to go ahead and get a chance at our prizes. I had some news on the Rebellion cigars. If you have won a prize from Rebellion, meaning their cigar pack or their lighter and cutter, you could not win it again. As well as Mick has said that a new thing from Cigar Vault. So go ahead and talk about that one really quickly.
Yeah. So from any of our giveaways, if you won, you can win once a month, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Once a month from Cigar Vault, and we'll keep track of it. We want to spread the love. Cigar Vault has been amazing for us. We've had a few people. They're great followers and great supporters, but we can't let you win 2 or 3 times in the same month. So once a month, one winner, we move on.
All right. So this is a new month, so we will keep that on there. I will do my best to keep a list on that one. So we did have Mitch, who won the lighter and cutter. He got that one out to Oksana. So I don't think she was on here tonight, so we'll say that she can't do it. But Mitch has a chance to go ahead and win again. Robert Kortner did win the cigars, so he will not be able to go on here. So I am going ahead and setting up everything really quickly to where there are, in case your name gets drawn, that you can win something else from the past. So let me go ahead and get this on here. Once again, let me preface this by saying that if you do not see your name in the wheel that goes around, StreamYard has said and told us that your name is in there. You just may not see it, but it is on there. If you typed in everything like it was supposed to be, it will be on there. So there's nothing that we can do about that. Also, we will give you a roughly 30 seconds or so to go ahead and type in that you are here. You have to be live to win. So help us out. Give the people a chance to go ahead and to comment before you comment. Congratulations. So the first one that we're going to give away, and this is starting a brand new month, so everybody is in the win. And remember, if you win once today, you cannot win second. We will roll right past you. But the only way to do this is to include all winners as well. So we are giving away the gift card, the $25 gift card from Cigar Vault in Oakdale. So as you can see on here, it does say it is for this one, hashtag RealSmoke. Start collecting names. We do have that, and we are going to draw. So our winner for the $25 gift card is Chris, the cigar enthusiast.
Chris,
what I need from you is to send Mick or the podcast your name, address, phone number, and address. That way we can get out all that information to you. Once again, we need your name, address, and phone number and email address so we can get out your information to Cigar Vault.
And the urine sample. Don't forget the urine sample.
And DNA, first blood of the blood from your firstborn. Let's draw again. This one is going to be for the lighter and the cutter.
Oh, yeah.
The winner for this one is going to be the Cigar Apostle.
Hells yeah. Congratulations.
You are the winner for that one. So what I need you to do is the same thing. I just need you to send me personally your mailing name and address. That way I can get this sent out to you. I will send it out in about a week when I send out the rest of the stuff that I need to. So get that information out to me, and I would greatly appreciate it. There we go. So congratulations to Chris and Cigar Apostle on your wins. And thank you so much to Rebellion Cigars and Cigar Vault for what you guys are doing to help get out some amazing gifts to our listeners. So let's see what we got going on in here. We do have just remember, Robert, that is one hashtag. Just saying,
not two.
You don't need both of them. No, don't overdo it. Mitch is not allowed to win. Well, he didn't.
He didn't. You did.
So Chris says, "Woot woot, he is here." So I guess I forgot to see if he was here. So Chris says, "Woot woot." Let's look for the rest of them. Greg says, hashtag real smoke. We may have to draw again. Let's see. Cigar Apostle. No, he just said he was here. So, oh, yeah. So Gary says, congratulations, Chris. Chris says, thank you to that one. Congrats, Chris. Crespin.
Yeah.
Crespin is Cigar Apostle.
Crespin. Okay.
Yep. So go ahead and send me your information. Let's see what else. Congratulations, Crespin. Got to go to bed. See y'all later. Says Kickin' Wing 84. Great show, guys, and thank you to Cigar Apostle. So, Stem King. So we do have a couple things left on here. We do have the cigar news to get to, and some Meanwhile in Memphis. So don't leave us just yet. Hang around. So let's hear from Cigar Public.
The news segment of the Real Smoke podcast is fired up by none other than Cigar Public. Dive into the world of cigars like never before at cigarpublic.com. Your one-stop destination for the latest cigar industry news, honest cigar reviews, whiskey articles, and so much more. It's everything you need to elevate your smoking game. Light up your curiosities at cigarpublic.com or follow them on Instagram at Cigar Public. Because life is too short for boring cigars and blend contact.
No doubt. Life is too short for all that crap. So we do have one cigar news, and so we're going to keep that one short. But Nelson Cigar Line launches with commemorative gift set. So I will say this. Have you heard of Nelson Cigar Line?
I have not.
I have not either. Has anybody in the chat heard of Nelson Cigar Line? I'm getting this off of their website, and they've got a nice little set right there. Looks like it's got a little ashtray and 5 cigars, so a nice little box, but I've never heard of Nelson Cigar. But Madrid, Spain, Select Tobacco, under the visionary leadership of Nelson Alfonso, proudly announces the release of the most exclusive offering to date, the Nelson. This limited edition line pays homage to Alfonso's family legacy while continuing Selected Tobacco's unique care during their post-roll age process. The Nelson will be available exclusively as a 6x54 presented in a commemorative package that includes 5 4-year age cigars in a custom designed ashtray created by Alfonso himself. Each cigar comes housed in a protective cosmetic-grade aluminum tube to preserve its unmatched quality. The Nelson represents both our past and our future, says Nelson Alfonso, founder of Select Tobacco. This is our line that we are releasing, created and blended by with my sons. Distinguished by its Ecuadorian Habano 2000 wrapper, embracing an Ecuadorian binder, the Nelson features a complex blend of Dominican and Peruvian fillers. These exceptional cigars undergo Select Tobacco's their aging process, maturing for 4 years in specialized rooms lined with cedar from 5 different species, ensuring an unrivaled depth and character. Let's see. The commemorative set, which debuts this year at the PCA show in New Orleans, are priced at $160 MSRP and are scheduled to ship immediately to authorized dealers. So there's a little bit more about that cigar brand and that offering on cigarpublic.com. Go check them out. But I'd be interested to know if anybody in the chat has heard of Nelson Cigars. I have not. And if you have, let us know what you think about them. And if you haven't, go check them out. I know I will be doing some Instagram research and seeing, if I can find out anything about them.
I will as well. I think I have a police chase going on right now, and I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure I heard some gunshots in the background. So it's kind of fitting for where we're heading here.
So does that mean it's time for Meanwhile in Memphis?
I think it might be.
Meanwhile in Memphis, it's happening again. Meanwhile in Memphis, the sky turns wild. Stray gators and pools running free and wild. Some guys wearing mud boots with a suit on trial. Meanwhile in Memphis, let's stay here a while.
And coming live to you from the great state of Tennessee in the area of Memphis, we bring to you our live reporter, Mick. Mick, what's going on in Memphis right now?
I wish I knew. There's a police chase going on right here to my left. There's some ambulances, and it sounds like a cop. There had to be at least 3 gunshots here in the last 5 minutes. That's why I was on mute. So I know we've been gone for a minute, and there's a lot of stories to choose from. But I chose 2 that I thought would be the most fun and entertaining for our audience tonight. So I chose 2 of my favorites. So a West Memphis police officer is on leave after a shoplifting charge. In Memphis, Tennessee, a West Memphis, Tennessee police officer was arrested and charged with shoplifting from a Dollar General.
So he couldn't find a better place to go shoplift. He just had to go to a DG.
That line alone made me pick this story, man. It was phenomenal. This man is accused of taking 5 containers of motor oil from a store in Edmondson on Wednesday. He is charged with a theft of $1,000 or less.
So is he just somebody who forgot that Diddy used baby oil and he went and got motor oil instead?
Motor oil. Yeah, motor oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he just wanted it extra greasy.
I give it that huck to it. Spit on that thing. You get me?
The report states the video surveillance shows him carrying a baby and shoplifting with a female and grabs several cans of oil. He then returns into view on the camera, and the baby's diaper bag is completely full, and he's only holding 1 can of motor oil.
Dang it, Bobby.
Authorities say he only paid for that 1 can. He was later arrested, and his girlfriend was shown in her military outfit as she was on leave. A police officer and an army. Come on, man. Like, why? It's 5 fucking jugs of motor oil. What's that, $30?
It's happening again.
Yeah, he's awaiting trial next Tuesday.
I think we should give him like the perfect salute,
Why? Why? 5? I don't even get it, man. All right, so I know we've touched on this in past episodes.
Wait. The Dollar General is the Macy's of West Memphis.
That's line of the night, Rob. You win again. You win again. That's beautiful.
You don't know how correct you are.
That is spot on. All right, so here's my last story of the night. And I know we touched on this before with the Memphis hit and runs. But there's one line in here that I absolutely had to touch on before we called it a night. So Memphis averages nearly 28 hit and run crashes a day. Police say. Memphis, Tennessee. Within the city of Memphis, there's more than 1 hit and run crash per hour. Is the latest statistic from Memphis police. And they continue to investigate the people responsible. Earlier this week, Fox 13 spoke with a family who was of a girl who was severely injured on a hit-and-run crash on Mother's Day. It happened near the intersection of North Highland Street and Faxon Street. Whoever hit her left the scene. The man backed up and yelled out the window, "I thought it was a dog," and then pulled off. So the dude thought he hit a dog. He stopped. He backed up, saw it was a human being, and then fucking pulled off. What?
Meanwhile, in Memphis, it's happening again.
I don't even need to go any further in this story. 28 a day. The fact that the dude.
So I want to create the next T-shirt needs to be the Meanwhile in Memphis, and then help save 28 a day.
Yeah. I know I'm repetitive here. I've been drinking, but the dude literally backed up and said, "Oh shit, I thought it was a dog," and then squealed the tires as he took away.
So if it would have been a dog, you would have got out and been like, "Oh my god, what am I going to do? Take it to the vet." Oh, it's just somebody else. Bye.
Some girl. Yeah. Whoop.
He literally looked out and said, "Bye, Felicia," and left.
Yeah, you literally can't make this shit up, man. But meanwhile in Memphis.
Meanwhile in Memphis. Oh Lord. Well, we did pass that 2-hour mark, so that's pretty average for us. Huge thanks to Bryce for being on here with us again, keeping up the reign supreme of podcast, Real Smoke podcast guest. So huge thanks to you for jumping on here. Thanks for everybody in the comments. You guys have you showed up tonight, so really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we love that you guys were on here, and a lot of the love and support for Bryce and everything that he does, and we had a lot of love and support for everything that we're doing. I mean, we are just a small part of what's going on. We're not really the big part. So we appreciate you guys for jumping on there, and we still have a crap ton of people across all 3 profiles. Really quickly, we are thinking about reopening up being able to watch on Instagram again. So stay tuned to that. It will be a separate podcast, or separate, not podcast, but it'll be a podcast page that we will just basically just do our lives from there. We'll post the information about the lives on there as well. I do have one thing to ask you, and you never commented in the comments. We have some, I was going to say something that's probably get us in trouble, but we got some dorkwad posting stuff from a weird Illuminati thing.
I have.
Is that you? Is that you?
It is,
no, seriously, is that you?
It is absolutely not me. It was in my notes to ask you, and I never got to it tonight. I have no fucking idea, man. Like they're post. Did you see this morning's post? Like,
I have not.
Wakey, eggs and bakey. Like, I don't even know what happened.
Because the first couple of ones of them, just the way it was talking annoyed me, and I was in West Virginia, and I was like, I can't take this, and I think I was already frustrated, so I kind of let that little bit of frustration show. And I sent you or commented in the comments. I asked him if it was you. Never heard anything back. And it's like, okay, this has got to be you.
No, man. I'm busy enough on her other 2 pages, my Real Smoke and Real Minutes. But no, absolutely not. 1,000% hand to God. It is not me. And I think some of the shit they're posting is cool. I think we have a random follower that's kind of taken off with it, but I'll take it, man. It's kind of cool. I know I kind of bought into it. You haven't yet.
Yeah, I haven't. Just the first post annoyed the shit out of me. So it was if and thou and wasn't, and it's like, dude, chat GPT some of your shit that you're posting. I don't know what you're doing, but come on. But yeah,
Ashtray Illuminati.
Yeah. Or is it Ashtray Illuminati?
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
AI.
AI.
Everybody needs AI.
Oh, AI. Is it AI though? See, I thought it was one of these, like we've had some of our members in our club get their account spammed and it's been somebody else, but they're not like reposting our stuff. They're just posting shit.
Random stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I should probably be nice because they haven't done anything bad, but I don't know. I just got annoyed. But anyways, yeah, we're looking at probably starting because, we're worried that we're going to get locked out again and don't want that to happen. So we may start a Instagram channel just called Real Smoke Live, and we will be able to stream from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. But the only way that's going to happen is I think we got to be over so many numbers and so long before we can live to that crap. So if we start that one, guys, just help us out. Go subscribe to that one. We're not expecting that one to be all that huge. We just want to give people another option because we've had the comments before if we can start streaming back on Instagram. And there's people that don't care about winning prizes. They just want to be able to watch the show. And their most common app to watch the show is Instagram. So, that's our only way that we can see fit to be able to do it, because I do not want to restart the podcast page all over again, because we still haven't reached where we got banned at. So we still need quite a few. We need 1,000 more people just to break even again. So we'll probably be starting that one up here shortly and just seeing where it goes. So
yeah, I think our new page, we've reached more quality people that interact more often, but at the same time, we're still not back to the numbers we were. So we're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep building and having fun at what we're doing, man. I'm so happy to be back, man. It was a great fucking evening.
Oh, it was a great night. So also, guys, in the comments in here, as well as the comments on our Instagram and stuff, if you got ideas of what we can do to add to the show or bring to the show, or more things that we can do, things to make it better, or what we're doing that annoys the hell out of you, let us know. All news is good news, as they say. So please do that. Really quickly, shout out to all of our sponsors. First and foremost, Cigar Vault Oakdale. Go check those guys out at Cigar Vault, the Cigar Vault. You can go check them out online or on Instagram. Go check those guys out. Get some cigars from them. Check out Beard Apothecary, the best beard care products, all natural stuff that you can buy. Check out Cigar Army. Buy some patches. Donate to their organization and what they're doing with Toys for Tots. Go check out Cigar Public at cigarpublic.com and on Instagram. Destination Cigars. If you're looking for some cigars that you've probably never tried before, go check out the new line that they've got out right now. You can go check them out on their website as well. Rebellion Cigars for all the stuff that they've done for us and all the giveaways. Check out Silent Hero. Check out the new cigar that's coming out. And last, Smoke In Cigar of the Month Club. Use RS New and sign up with their service. We just got some of their new cigars in. Mick's already posted about it. I just got back in town this afternoon, so
great
I haven't
box
even
this month,
opened
man.
up the box. So
Great box this month.
Next week we have we've got Mark with Katie Cigars. Mark has been doing a lot of giveaways with us. He's the second group that's done some of the best, or third group that's done some of the most giveaways that we've had on here. So tune in with us next week as we talk to Mark with Katie Cigars and learn about his brand and what Katie actually stands for. Mitch goes on here and says Destino Cigars. Mitch, you'll be happy to know that the new name of the Destino Cigars is Allegory Cigars. They are rolling over everything into Allegory Cigars. So Mitch is a huge fan of their cigars, and you've had a couple of those as well. I've smoked a shit ton. I picked up some new releases while I was in West Virginia because they just happened to be on the path of where I was going. So Anyways, congratulations to Oz Family Cigars on their newest cigar. That's not even out on the market. We just happen to have some. Their cigar gets a 93 from us. So congratulations to Oz Family Cigars. Close us out, man.
Man, I'm so happy to be back.
Me too.
It was amazing. It was amazing meeting up with you, man. I know we do this every week or so, but just hanging out and spending that time this week, man, meant the fucking world to me, man. And thanks to all our sponsors. I know you already went over it. Thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. And take time this week and smoke a cigar with someone you love.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Everybody have a great night. We will see you guys next week. Thanks, Mick, for all that you do for us. Welcome back. Missed your brother.
Yes, sir.
Great seeing you.
Too,
and we will see everybody next week. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. The Real Smoke Podcast makes us all grin. You light us up.